behind the scenes, government has been working very hard to formulate, adopt and implement policies that will contribute to the economic recovery of our country, to turning around the economic fortunes of our country. Now, some of these policies and activities that we are undertaking as government have not been brought into the public domain. I think largely because we have taken what we are doing for granted, and we did not appreciate that these achievements need to be shared domestically with our population and also externally with our development partners, creditor nations, so that they are aware of the seriousness with which we are tackling our reform agenda. Now, we have entered into discussions with the African Development Bank, and they've agreed to fund the employment of a communications expert, so that what we do on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis, whether under the staff monitoring program, whether in relationship to our to the IMF, as we go towards the next round of negotiations, that all this is publicized. And I'm very grateful to the African Development Bank for agreeing to do that. We have been doing a lot of activities in the area of land. And I think I did mention in my address that we have provided the resources for the remapping of the new boundaries. This is preparatory to granting legal documents that will give people security of tenure. And this is 99-year leases A1 documents. We have also been given resources to the Ministry of Lands to speed up the evaluation of improvements on farms that we acquired under the land reform program. And we have also given them resources in order to pay compensation. So this basically is what we've been doing behind the scenes. And these are issues that we would also want to publicize. With respect to the mining sector, especially the diamond sector, I need to emphasize and also be able to communicate to members of the public that we are putting in place a transparent, accountable process so that what we extract is made accountable. And already we have adopted a model now where we provide the working capital, everything, but the diamonds become the property of the fiscus. And we are right now on a daily basis, the Minister of Mines, the Reserve Bank are receiving figures of production on a daily basis. This will help in achieving transparency and accountability.
You bring up a good point. We're emphasizing the relationship between government and international financial institutions. Let's talk about government. A lot of times people accuse government of policy inconsistency, incoherent structures. From a Ministry of Finance point of view, you're the central entity of government finances. Do you have agreement and correspondence with other ministries such as agriculture, mining, as you've pointed out?
You know, as I pointed out in my address, formulation, adoption, and reaching consensus on policies is not one big battle. I want to emphasize that. So the inconsistencies can arise sometimes before we conclude the consensus. But once the consensus has been arrived at, there is generally no inconsistencies. We all speak with one voice. But before that, people look at issues from different viewpoints. But I want to say this, that on the policy front, I'm satisfied as Minister of Finance and Economic Development that we have now a broad range of consensus on all policies that are critical to achieve economic recovery for this country. What remains now is implementation, implementation, implementation.